Okay guys, I'm here with our next video on Redken Certification Prep. And this is how I kind of set myself up. And setup is 7 minutes, and you have to also mix your lightener in those 7 minutes and get your mannequin section. You also need to remember that once you're put your bag away, you're not allowed to get it back out. So make sure you have everything out in this process. So I kind of throw everything on this tray just so we can go over it. But what I did was I had my 2 mixing cups so I can make sure to measure my developer for my color fusion and for my up to 7. Then I have my 2 color bowls. What I did was I put my gloves directly in my color bowls so that I couldn't not put my gloves on before I mixed up color. You cannot start touching any color, even just scooping your lightener, without gloves on. So I put my first pair in the top bowl, and in the second bowl I put 2 new pairs. One for my retouch, one for my pull through. That way I could take my gloves off in between sections when they ask you to step away. I also do believe on the day of the test day, I actually had another set just in case I ripped anything to be on the safe side. And when I actually packed, I packed 3 in 3 bowls. Actually did 6 and 6 because I brought enough for prep night that I didn't have to wash it, and enough for the actual test because they don't give you time to actually wash your stuff on prep night. It's really a big help. But just in case you're staying in a hotel room, you don't have time to wash your bowls and brushes, things like that, or thoroughly enough, because the last thing you want is some like color on the side or anything like that. So then you need your bottle for your bottle application, and I put the nozzle in it so I know. I have my rolled up spare towel. I brought my paddle brush just to brush out my mannequin when I first got her because they are just out of a box and a comb doesn't always help. So I brought my paddle brush, and then for my foils, I brought a magazine and I put my foils and I literally tore them and then individually separated them, then put them in the magazine so they wouldn't be creased. So on the day of the test, I took my foils out, I'm trying to do this and hold the camera, set them away, and then I ended up putting my magazine back in my bag. That way I didn't need it. So, trying to move everything. And then I brought a towel to cover. I always worked with a towel on my tray so I knew if I got anything on my tray. At the test, depending on your testing site, I did mine at a T-spot. I think a lot of them are at T-spots. You're going to have more of a station than the trays, so don't worry about that. You have your one to wipe off. And then my second one, what I did was I wrapped it so that I could put it on and unfold. So I had my brushes real nice. I had my one for my foils. I had one for my pull through, my 2 different Redken retouch brushes. And then I always bring 2 foiling combs because I always throw my foiling combs on the ground. And then I secured it with all my sectioning clips on the sides. So I had everything. So all I had to do was literally pull this out of my bag, set it down, pull my magazine out with my foils, set my foils down, pull all of this out, and then also don't forget your apron. So you're going to need all of that. So you have 7 minutes, so it seems like not that much time when you really think about getting everything out and everything. The more organized you are coming out of your bag, the less time you're going to spend grabbing all of this stuff, getting your station organized, and you can just grab your brush, grab your comb, and start sectioning out your mannequin. And then also mixing your lightener. The things I didn't remember were I forgot my wisps. I had wisps to stir my color. I wasn't thinking those are back at my color bowl. Those I would have put in here as well. I would have been 2 wisps, one for my lightener, one for my actual color. So that is what's missing from my stand. If I think of anything else, I will post it in the link below. It has been about 8 months since I took my technical exam, so some of this isn't as fresh in my mind as it was 6 or 8 months ago. But that's how I set up. It made it super easy. So I literally used a carry-on suitcase, flipped it open, pulled everything out, put it up, and I was able to start mixing. You don't need to bring your lightener, your color, or your developer. Those will all be on your station already for you. So, and then the steps. So I've got Erica today. Erica has seen better days. I just threw some 5NB on her so that she is a solid color. You will get a Diane. Diane is who you use, basically same thing as Erica with blonde hair. What I did was I had an Erica already at home, so I would go use my Diane, wash her, clean her out, put her under a hooded dryer, let her dry while I was working on my Erica when I was doing my hardcore practicing. So, okay, so one thing when I was sectioning with Erica is I made sure her nose lined up with down here, this ball, so that I could pull her forward. Actually, there she is. That's as close as she's going to get. But I wanted those and then a front leg to line up. So I didn't have to think about where the front of her face was when I went to section. I made sure that she was already on the tripod the way I wanted her. That way I could just go ahead and easily section. Once you get to my foil video, you'll see that I move her head around, her position of her head around, and you'll see why it's important that she's at the ball, or where the ball falls down at the mannequin stand. So, alright, well, I'm going to get her section.